about what made him so successful, but we want to hear your perspective as well. And the
The
whole
views and
idea
opinions
is so
expressed
that we
on
can
this
get
show are
people
those of
ready,
the hosts,
hopefully,
guests,
to
and
come
callers
and
who are responsible
join
for
us
their
next year.
content and do not reflect the
sounds
opinions of
good.
InTouch Radio or its staff.
All right, guys, we're live in a second. Okay, Ricky.
Recording in progress.
All right, get ready, get ready, get ready. It's Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Cuso, and I am here for the third hour of the show with my co-host, Jeanette Diva J. Hort Smith. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, happy to be here.
Awesome. It sounds like we were just together, not a month ago, but just recently. And I guess we were as a result of the Cornerstone 7th Annual Top Golf Tournament. Diva
Yes.
J, I had so much fun. I had so much fun. It was incredible.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you to your team for showing up. It was a great success. It was actually one of the biggest Top Golf tournaments we've had as far as the number of people. And we raised more than what our goal was. So we raised over 100.
Hold that thought, because you have to have a drum roll. Hold that thought. We're gonna talk about just how successful it was, but we've got two guests that are on the show today. One of the donors and a member of my squad team is going to hop on in a minute, because that was a first-time experience for them as well. And fortunately, our second guest was also there as a part of that Let's Talk Business squad. But we have our two guests on today, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome both to our show. And it's so excited to have you here, Mr. Livingston and Miss Johnson. It's just a pleasure. Welcome back to you, Miss Johnson. You were here before, and you have some exciting news that you want to share with us. But we want to hear your perspective as well. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Diva J, and she's going to introduce our first guest. And then let's get all up in his business.
Absolutely. He needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway. So he was born the second son of Montgomery and Ethel Lee Livingston on Flag Day in Sarasota, Florida. He grew up in modest surroundings, but never felt poor. He had food, love, shelter, and never really wanted for anything. When he was in 7th grade, he moved to Washington, D.C. on First and U, Northwest. That's not too far from Howard University, for those who are familiar with the area. And so he was in the heart of the city. At the time of his arrival in D.C., it was the murder capital. So it was a lot going on in the city. They were suffering from drug epidemics and neighborhood gang violence. So D.C. was, of course, somewhat of a culture shock when he made his transition, coming from a small town like Sarasota, Florida. But it was he was provided a scholarship and attended an exclusive private school for children of color, Black children. There were more Black children. He was the only Black child in attendance at that school. And so while in DC, he learned knowledge and love of self, and saw people who looked like him, who were in charge and providing positive images and leadership. So while in DC, he was baptized and attended Mount Bethel Baptist Church, where his father eventually became the pastor, and he still currently attends that church via Zoom. After high school, Ephraim Livingston returned to Florida and attended Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University, aka FAMU. He excelled and followed his dreams to be an attorney. He was fortunate to be named a Virgil Hawkins Scholar, and he graduated from the Florida State College of Law. He spent most of his career in medical legal roles, including working for the Department of Health and the Agency of Healthcare Administration, regulating and prosecuting healthcare professionals. Currently, he represents healthcare professionals before the very agencies he previously worked for. His wife, Michelle, have been blessed with 5 beautiful, healthy, and talented children. He enjoys volunteering, mentoring, and impacting youth in his community. His hobbies include reading detective novels, youth fantasy novels, writing, rhythmic poetry, music production, and watching movies at the theater. So he's been fortunate enough to be a part of several organizations and have leadership roles within them. He's currently a board member and the vice president of the board at Cornerstone Family Ministries, the African American Club of Pasco County, and a member of the National Advancement of Colored People at Pasco County branch. So I introduce to some and welcome to others, Mr. Ephraim Livingston. Welcome.
Oh, Mr. Livingston, welcome, welcome. Listening to that bio, I'm ready to ask, will we get to hear a little bit of that artistic talent of yours on the show?
If you invite me back, I'll bring it back because that's part of my Dynamic Jones persona. So if you invite me back, I'll bring it in.
Diva J, you heard it first right here on our show. He's coming back with his avatar and he's going to perform.
I got it.
Listen, we want to give you an opportunity to say hello, and so glad to have you here. We have so many questions for you, but listen, just relax. It is the show where we will be all up in your brand's business, but your brand today is your brand as a servant. And so I know that comes second nature to you to be able to talk about the organizations that you support, but specifically Cornerstone Family Ministries. So what say you, sir?
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is how I got involved with Cornerstone Family Ministries. So my middle child, with my daughter, Ivy, she wanted to, when she was in high school, she's now in college now, but she's in high school, she said, Dad, I want to work in daycare. I said, okay, that's fine. And then that particular school, she went to Atlanta Oaks High School. That particular school said, all right, we have a program that if you do, you can be registered, or you can be registered and certified to be a pre-K teacher. She said, okay, so she got into that program. But what she had to do, she had to get volunteer hours. At the time, she was 15. And so the only place that would give her volunteer hours was Cornerstone Family Ministries. So I went down there, I took her down there and I toured the place. And then it was funny because Jeanette, predecessor, said, I'm curious why you want to talk to me, why you want to tour the place. I said, I'm going to allow you to watch my child or help my child to grow. I don't even know who you are. So she was impressed by that. And then she reached out to her boss, which is Kathy Stone, and said, this guy's really impressive. And so Kathy then reached out to me and said, literally what she said, I've been praying to get more Black men to be a part of this organization. And so obviously I'm a Black man if you can't see me, but hear me, but I am. And so she said, could you think about, getting involved with our school, get involved with our organization? I said, okay. So I did my research on it. A little bit later, I said, I reached out to her. I said, yeah, I think I can see if I can help you out, because one of my passions is helping kids. Obviously, helping undeserved kids, or helping kids that look like me. And so what they were doing that. And so they were helping kids in the inner city of Tampa, in old Tampa. And so I said, let me try. So fast forward, I got on a committee, which is a committee that now Jeanette helps out with. And then they like me, so I work, because I'm a worker. I try to help out as much as I can, whatever I can to help, I'll help. So I got on the committee, development committee, did well on that. And then, Kathy said, you know what, you're doing a really good job. Why don't you come in and be a part of our board? I said, okay, no problem. I've been part of the board. Again, I'm on the board. I'm the one and only there, but it's fine. I've dealt with that all my life, and it's fine. But then, and then she said, you're doing a great job. Why don't you become the vice president? And so that's where I am now. And so what I try to do is, I consider myself a worker bee. If I'm one of these people, see a need, fill a need. And so if I can help out, I'll give you, the benefit of my experience, then I will. So don't let me stop, because I'll monologue you. I'll monologue the whole show. So tell me when to stop, and then I'll answer the next question.
Oh, listen, that is just fantastic. And what a story. And not only a story, but what a lesson we as parents, and we're worker bees. Everybody on this show is a worker bee. One is coming in and out, but you're going to hear from that worker bee in a moment. And you hear from Queen Regina Johnson. She's a worker bee. But it was something you said about when your daughter said she wanted to work with children. And as parents, that's what we have to do. Pour into. You may You may find yourself pouring into a number of activities that they believe they want to work in until they find that true calling in their life. But that's what we as parents do. So to hear you say that, went there, did the research, started volunteering, and here you are today, and people will understand the work behind it. It's not just a worker bee, but we become worker bees producing results. And that's what's so very, very important. But we are going to come back and have a few questions with you. Diva J may have, we call her Diva J on the show. She may have a couple of questions for you as well. But we're going to hold off on that little success piece because we have two guests on the line today who heard me talking about the event. I asked them to join my squad. Listen, we had never really top golf before, so it was a gamble for us just to be able to do that. But what was more important for us was to support the organization and be there, and certainly to support Diva J at the same time. But let me just go ahead and hear a little bit from Diva J, and then we'll introduce our second guest. Diva J?
Yes, well, I mean, I have to thank he was involved, as he mentioned, with Cornerstone Family Ministries before I even came. So of course, I was intrigued to learn a bit more about him, and we have a very fun working relationship. And so it's always enjoyable to have someone in a leadership capacity that's passionate about the people we serve, but that also reflects the people we serve and is really interested in seeing everyone succeed. So I'm excited. I'm going to let us go ahead and introduce our next guest so we can get talking about all of the great accomplishments that have happened, yes, the ways that you all have supported us, and where we can go from here.
Oh my goodness, we so want to hear them all. So our second guest, she's no stranger to Let's Talk Business with SJC. She was on the show actually with you guys, and she was there to support us when you introduced your special guest. And let me say this, even before I reintroduce Queen Regina Johnson, and you guys will appreciate this too. Your special guest, one of your special guests, Henry Shake Washington School Board member, was just named Vice President of Hillsborough County School Board, and that is phenomenal. So congratulations to him. He did say to you all when he was making his speech that, he worked in the school system for all of those years, but he wanted to come back and have a voice and be able to make a difference. And wow, VP of that board, now we're speaking with a VP, Board of Directors, Cornerstone Family Ministries. All I can say is, look at God. Look at God. Now, this young lady, after retiring 31 years with a major communications company, she decided that she wanted to establish a company called Queen's Vision African Apparel. And she did such. She did it at Beach Boulevard when she started in Jacksonville at a flea market. And then from there, she came back to her hometown, Tampa, in 2018 and began to open her shop. And if those of you heard her on the show earlier, it was a gift from God that brought it to fruition. With no customers and not being familiar with the area, she hit the ground running through social media, websites, Google, lots and lots of prayers. She was able to capture customers quickly, not only in Florida, but in the surrounding states. And then from there, California, Utah, Texas, New York. And she says, what a blessing. She says, my apparel and products are shipped mainly from West Africa, Nigeria, Togo, Ghana, Senegal, Egypt, Niger, and as well Mali. However, East Africa is where she gets the bulk of her shipments from, and from Tanzania and Kenya. Wow. So some of the garments we're wearing are from the motherland. She says, I've met several good people, which has allowed me to have custom-made items for weddings and special occasions. In 2019, she decided to venture into a pop-up market to support and offer support for other small businesses. Most of them did not have a storefront. And she created the Sankofa Cultural Market, and that was the birth. And you're going to hear more about that as we talk to her. And she'll tell you about, some of the individuals that are there. She started promoting this for Juneteenth in 2021. And as we know from her visit just a couple of weeks ago, it was a Fall Unity Festival. And she's going to tell us a little bit about it. I think we have a little short segment that we're going to hear. But this woman who Oh my God. Accepted the purpose from God and decided to move forward. Forgive me, I just happen to know the backstory. And sometimes you can't help but just feel warm hearted when you're talking about people who are following their passion. Her motto is fashion should always make a statement. Welcome back to the show, Queen Regina Johnson.
Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much. It's overwhelming hearing about yourself.
It-
It's a journey for me, and I don't see the steps. I just keep in motion.
All right. Well, on those emotions, and let's see, he stepped on a few minutes ago, and Tion has been kind of bouncing in and out. So to Diva J and to you, Mr. Livingston, Regina, when I shared with her about what I was doing in support of Diva J and as well the fundraising initiative, without hesitation, she said, "I want to be a part of that. What can I do? What can I do to support?" Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like, because it was the first time for you. When you got there, how did they make you feel?
Well, and that is something. Let me put it in words. It was more than what I expected. From the entrance all the way to me trying to golf, that never happened. But the overwhelming energy that everybody had to support, it was overwhelming. It was my first time, but it was more than what I expected. I didn't get a chance to stay around for the auction, but I walked around the table and the things that were there and the people that came out. It was overwhelming. It's something I definitely want to be a part of over and over again. Yeah, you can definitely count me in on that. It was definitely a success, and it's definitely something that's needed in our community. And I just can't believe that it was my first time hearing about it. I feel so left out.
It's okay, and thank you so much because we also heard that from Leslie Les Miller and Henry J. Washington as well. And the only reason I knew about Rosa Valdez is because I don't know, years ago, I tried to get my son over in that school because our home was in West Tampa. But thank you so much. And I echo your sentiments exactly from the moment we walked in the door. And DJ, I must say this to you. You said to us in our letter, when you get there, if you need anything, look for someone with a red shirt. And I'm telling you, the red shirters were all up in our faces, and everywhere you turned, there was a red shirt. And they were well versed in their role and what it was they needed to do. And I appreciate you. And that's what helped to make us feel so welcoming. But that being said, I see our other donor, squad member, and new supporter to Cornerstone family members. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Tiant McCoy.
Hi, how are you doing? How's it going, everyone?
Good.
Very great. Very good to be here. Thank you for inviting me over.
First of all, we don't have to reintroduce you, but tell us a little bit about who you are, what you got going on in Ybor City, and then what was that experience like at Top Golf?
Well, I'm Tiant McCoy from Daddy O's Patio, Ybor. I think a few people had a chance to come and eat with us and dine with us.
Yes.
And so we're on 7th Avenue, right in the main strip of Ybor. And we've been there now for about 4 months. And and we've really had some great support. So thanks to everybody for coming out and joining us and dining with us. And hopefully you've enjoyed your experience. But as far as the Top Golf experience, it was a lot of fun. Very well organized. Hey, man, yeah, I'm talking about it was organized to the T, to the letter.
It was.
Even to the point where I had a golf coach helping me with my swing. So that was excellent. And just like someone else just said, that entire support system with all of the sponsors was excellent. I thought that people really supported the event, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it next year. Hopefully we can do it even bigger.
Right, and we are so excited. And just so that you know, Mr. Livingston, these guests wrote checks. They made donations to it. Matter of fact, my whole squad did. They were just so very, very impressed with what you all were trying to do and wanted to be a part of it and wanted to make it happen. A couple of my guests, kind of lost it a little bit on that silent auction. We tried, Mr. Livingston.
Yeah.
Let me give a shout out to Artesia Williams, because when she came and she saw that DSI Black Pages was one of the donors for the silent auction, and she had her eye on putting an ad in that book, and she would go in and out just to make sure. She's like, Miss Rousseau, that's mine. I'm gonna win that. I'm gonna get that. I said, we need somebody else to do that. She said, oh no, this mine. I said, okay, we gonna keep it in the family, keep it in the family. And I just so appreciated that. But Tion, we learned quickly that some of the guests that attended Cornerstone's event had super deep pockets. Some of the items we tried to build, we were even.
Yes, we were competitive on that auction, right?
We were very competitive.
I'm upset that I didn't get those. I think the raised tickets. I wanted those sweet tickets, and they outbidded me. I was unhappy about that. But next time I'm going to come with deeper pockets.
And Diva J, I must share this with you. My guests started coming up to me saying, hey, listen, Cheryl, we really wanted to write a check for X number of dollars, but there are a couple of items on the bid, and we want to bid for those items. And I said, you know what? All the money is going into the same pot. So go for it. But kudos again to the both of you and to Kathy and to the organization. Super well organized, such a great fun event. When I saw that Tion had a golf coach, I went over there too. My team allowed me to leave for just a minute, but I think they just wanted me to at least get a picture of the scoreboard where I was leaving, because I am not a golfer. And after that, I'm telling you, they ripped it to pieces. And we'll put up a slide I had an amazing team. And so I wanted the two guests that are on the show today to have a little conversation with Mr. Livingston, but you guys are sharing just how much that meant to them. So to you, Mr. Livingston, how does that make you feel? Here you are, this man of color, and then you wanted to be able to bring people of color to come in and support Cornerstone Ministries, and you look up this year and you had quite a lot of Black folk up in there.
I was excited because last year, I'll be honest, the only people that I saw there were people I brought. So there was two people that I brought last year, but then this year, I looked around, there was a whole 2 bays filled with people, and they said you were the main cause of that. So I was happy, and it was funny, quick funny story. When I was walking Miss Regina in, and I'm good with voices, but not particular names. So I was talking to her, bringing her in. I said, "You sound familiar." And I said, "What do you do?" And she told me, about her business. I said, you know what? I bought a Grand Bobo from you. And so, it was just fun, exciting to see somebody, that I had already engaged with coming to the event. So it was great. And I'm hoping that, you tell other people and other people hear about it and more people will come out, because you're right. It is a situation where it's something that we as a people don't really deal with a lot, but it's a good opportunity for us to meet people, to do things that are helpful to our community, because really, Old West Tampa that's our community. If you think about the people who we serve, 88% of them, are Black, young Black kids, and so we want to help our own people if we can, and we can in this situation. So that's part of what I'm, when I came here, to this program, I wanted to make sure that people know that those events help us, help our people. So.
Oh my goodness. And I see one of the slides that are up. So we're there. There's a Lightning's mascot. And the people on my team, of course, there's Tion. And then we had Mr. and Mrs. We had Chance and Keisha Boyd there. We had George Streets there. Oh, look at Chance trying to put some. Here's the other beautiful thing about it. There's Chance golfing, and his wife was at a press conference on the laptop. And that was just the beauty. She was like, nope, I'm going to be there. I'm going to support you. I may have to do a little work. And I love that. We started out with 1 bay. And I said, but Jeanette, I got some other. Jeanette said, bring them on. We ended up with 2 bays. And we were able to be together. So thank you all so much for that. But to have people like Tion to come and to have people like Regina, and we had George Streets, we had Yana Kuso, we had Michael Byrne, we had Tim Grady, we had so many. And wait, you had your assistant, Regina. We also had Artesia Williams, and to be there and to navigate around and network with all of these individuals. Diva J always says, be relevant. And make sure that people know that you're in the room. And I watched them all networking with a number of people that were there. And I just thought that was just phenomenal. And we had so many individuals. We also had Doug Miller. Oh my goodness. Now that was our top golfer. Doug in Streets. And I mean, he showed out. He just blew the numbers off the board. Blew the numbers. That's why I told you they only allowed me to lead for a minute. But to have all of them, there's that team picture again, and I think I named them all. But if I didn't, charge to my head and not my heart. But they know it. We love them. We appreciate them. And so to hear you say you want to see them back, let's see. Can we get a drum roll, please? And Diva J is gonna come and tell us. Y'all can unmute your phones and beat your desks. Diva J, what do you have to tell us?
Well, I first always have to say thank you. And, you know, because you can't say it enough. This is not possible without the support of people like Miss Queen, Regina, Tion, your whole team, and everybody in attendance at the event. And then not just that, like board members and committee members like Ephraim, like our volunteers in the red shirt. Everybody played a part in the success of this event. And I think that is so important, and it can't be said enough, because the slogan of teamwork makes the dream work, it showed. And so the drum roll was because our goal was to raise $100,000. We raised over $114,000 in early learning scholarships for the students who attend our Rosa Valdez Early Learning Centers. So thank you to you all for making that happen.
You are welcome. And to our radio listening audience, quickly tell them, DJ, before we break for commercial, and they can still donate. The donations don't have to stop coming in, because kids will always need scholarships. And I know you all are going to share with us what's next, because we heard a phenomenal announcement when we were there, but we want to make sure that announcement between the two of you is made right here on the show. But scholarships will always be available, especially with what you all have coming down the pipeline. And so, but we'll talk a little bit more about that after the commercial break. But I did want to hear. No, I won't give them such a short notice. Let me say this. The food. I wasn't sure about the setup, because I saw them pushing stuff around. But once we got back into the main area, that food was seasoned to perfection.
Oh, good.
It was very, very good. And it was plentiful, because I saw people going back.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
Wait, Tia, what you got to say? You got a minute?
No, I was saying it was excellent. Yeah, the food definitely was great. I got
coming from somebody that owns a restaurant.
I got in line a couple of times.
All right, guys. Mute your mics. Mute your mics. We'll be back in 2.
All right.
Strong.
Cancer affects our women take charge of their populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep families from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
Our cancer treatment is evolving as precision medicine is being left behind. We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I've worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
Champions don't quit, but there's one kind of quitter I admire: former smokers. If you're over 55 and still smoking, or even if you quit years ago, talk with your doctor about lung cancer screening, even if you have no symptoms. It's quick and painless. Lung cancer is the nation's most deadly cancer, but screening can better the odds. Ask your doctor if it's right for you. Together, we can be champions over cancer.
But they haven't uploaded in the
And we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in to Lifestyle Business with Cheryl J. Cusseau. We appreciate our engineers working at In Touch News Radio. Many of us are still virtual. Thank you to our Facebook family and our YouTubers. You are hearing all about the success of Cornerstone Family Ministries' 7th annual Top Golf Tournament. At the end of the hour, you heard Diva J talk about the number of dollars that were raised. The goal was $100,000 and God exceeded that. And now they're on their way to $120,000. Yes, you are. And so when you hear that, Mr. Livingston, how does that make you feel? Because you were there. I don't know, what was last year? 75,000, was it, Diva J?
It was probably maybe 75 gross, 69 to really.
Okay. Well, that's a big jump from 69 to 114. How does that make you feel, Mr. Livingston?
Well, it makes me, it's exciting. I realized that, the injection of Jeanette, Lady J, is a part of that. It's a big part of that because her ingenuity, her innovation, her connections, obviously with you and other people, has allowed Cornerstone's programs to grow. And one of the big things is one of her big goals is to continue to grow, bring in those funds, but also diversify and bring in people that look like me to come in and say, you know what, I want to be a part of this. This is part of my passion. This is part of my goals. This is part of something that I want to do. And so that's part of what we want to do is kind of say, look at what we're doing. Look at who we're helping. And then maybe, introduce yourself to our ministry, to our passion, to our goals. And maybe that'll be something that you want to be involved with too. So that's part of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reach out and say, come. Won't you come? Won't you come now? And so I know I want to feel like too much church, but I just, just come down and just come and be a part. Do a tour. I know this COVID's going on, but do a tour. Let Jeanette know that you want to do a tour. Maybe come in a time where the kids are doing chapel. They know over 50 names for Jesus. So that's something that that you want to see. That you want to see the kids growing and knowing and being a part of that ministry.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Livingston is a comedian.
He is.
But I cannot wait for him to come back as his avatar because, as he was saying, I was hearing "Come to Jesus."
But what he said is very true, and I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. We appreciate the donations, but what we appreciate as well, and just as equally, is the participation.
Yes.
When Ephraim got involved with our ministry, it wasn't as a donor; it was as first a parent.
Correct.
And became as a part of our committee. And when I mentioned before that it's teamwork that makes the dream work, really those funds came in not because of who I am, but because of our committee members, because of our board members who reached into their networks, into their friendships and relationships, and really made that possible. And let me make sure I have to mention our title sponsor, Unique Wealth. who's
Yes.
with Curtis Perry. Curtis Perry is the president of our board, and he's the CEO of Unique Wealth. They have been our title sponsor. He's actually the brainchild, one of the brainchildren of this event. And so he personally, through his company, donates $10,000 as the title sponsor. But and he brings in a load of other sponsors to support along with him. And so what we're looking for isn't just a transaction. We don't just want you to come to the event and leave happy. We want to begin a relationship. And so I invite everybody who came to the event, all of the members of your team, as Ephraim said, let's do a tour. Come to chapel on a Friday morning. It is nothing better to start your weekend off until you see these children singing to Jesus. And they're singing as early as 1 year old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are having a good time. And so there's also other events that we do at Rosa Valdez, whether it be through the holidays, whether it be some of our family engagement type of events, where we always need volunteers. And so I really, really want to stress that while we appreciate your donation, your time, your treasure, and your talent is also welcome in supporting Cornerstone Family Ministries.
All right, well, you heard it first here on Let's Talk Business with SJC and my co-host Diva J. Since we had a Let's Talk Business squad for the fundraiser, then we're going to have a Let's Talk Business tour of the Rosa Valdez School. But I must tell you that my squad, it was 14 total, said that they are coming back next year.
Awesome.
So whoop whoop. So again, thank you so much. We're going to pivot now, and this is why business is so important, because this coming Saturday we're going to be celebrating small business. And DBJ, if you'll talk a little bit about small business, we have a small business owner here that is going to be putting on a super organized event at the Rebirth Event Park. But tell us a little bit about small businesses and why we wanted to participate in it. Our show's theme is Catch the Show That's All Up in Your Business Brand. And this particular month, it's all about thanks and giving. And you saw a perfect example of what happens when we can appreciate how thankful we are with how God has blessed us and to be able to give back to someone else. So thanks and giving. I thank you all for giving of your time, your talent, your treasure, or yourself, your service, and your sustenance, whichever works for you. Diva J?
Absolutely. So Small Business Saturday, many of us are familiar with Black Friday, but Small Business Saturday is an opportunity for small businesses in all areas to really reconnect with your consumers. About 75% of small business owners have said that COVID-19 may have negatively impacted their businesses. Well, consider Small Business Saturday an opportunity. And there's several things that you can give. I'm going to give just a couple quick how to maximize on Small Business Saturday. One, and I say this all the time, create an online presence. If you do not have a way to sell your merchandise via e-commerce, to advertise your services virtually, you need to be doing that. I don't care if you want your Facebook page today. There needs to be an online presence. And then you want to make sure that that online presence is optimized for mobile devices. We know that a majority of consumers today are browsing and making most of their purchasing decisions from their phone. You'll notice when you went to Topgolf for the silent auction, how did you bid? On your phone. There was no more pen and paper. Those days are gone. People coming into your storefront, those days, people sitting in front of their computers are almost gone. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, it has some type of mobile compatibility. And then get social. Being on social media is important. This is how people are going to know you're participating in Small Business Saturday, how they can support your business. You can engage, go back a couple weeks and look at who's been leaving comments on your post or liking some of your posts and send them a little message. Thank you. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, thank you for your support. They're going to come back and look at your page and see what you have going on. You might want to consider longer hours on Small Business Saturday to give all of your consumers time to really browse and do a sell. If you're selling something, this is the weekend to give a promo code or a discount code, a Thanksgiving holiday special. But you definitely want to have some type of sell that people are in the mode of buying, but they're not buying at full price because everything this weekend is discounted. So join that trend. Find something that you can offer that you don't lose. There's still ROI, but that is on sale. And this might be an opportunity to host a contest. a giveaway special, the 10th like on this post will receive a free this. So be creative around how you can begin to reward your consumers as well. And then look at other businesses. Are there any business to business relationships that you can begin to forge? Is there any holiday giveaways that you can do so that people are coming to your storefront to drop off cans that you're going to donate to maybe someone like Feed Tampa Bay? So this is the time to be as creative as possible and learn from others. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Look at what people did last year in your industry on Small Business Saturday or just on Black Fridays, and how can you take some of those ideas and mold them to make them your own? So this is an exciting weekend. There's a lot of stuff out there that you could do. And so I'm excited to just see how I can be of support to several small businesses this weekend or next week.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's right around the corner. And let's see. Queen Regina, tell us what's coming down the pipeline for Small Business Saturday. That would be Saturday the 27th.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yes. So November 27th is definitely, I say, the birthdays for businesses. It's definitely for our Black-owned businesses. What better way to put you in the Black, being Black, than supporting a Black-owned business in our community? I'm very excited about it. The vendors are excited about it. The community should be excited about it. It is a win-win for all. And we definitely need to share, promote, and come out and support. Most of all, come out and support. And it is Saturday, November 27th. It's at the Rebirth Event Park, and that's on 1924 East Comanche. Now, it's very easy to find because it's right in the heart of Tampa, directly behind Walmart, the McDonald's that's on 20th Street. You can't miss it. Everybody knows exactly where that is, whether you're from Tampa or not. And it's very centrally located, directly behind parking surrounding the block. So it's so much that will be going on. I'm excited.
Well, tell us who are some of the vendors that you're going to have. And if they go and visit your Facebook page and your website, you'll actually get to see a full video there. If we have a chance, we'll try to do a little clip, and they can see not only did you have an opportunity for vendors to come out and support, in the community to come out and keep their dollars and spend their dollars as they're circulating around in our community, but you also had entertainment. And Diva J, she also had a kids zone.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We and that was a success. It was the first time trying the kids zone, and it was something that we think that we're going to revisit each event. The kids loved it. It was a good turnout. The parents enjoyed that the kids were able to have some fun under supervision while they shop. So that gave them a chance to, relieve themselves from the kids, and the kids to enjoy themselves. We had games for the kids. In addition to, it was during the fall festival. It was the last day for breast cancer, so we had our pink table, and it was just amazing. The support that we got from the community and the feedback after the event that we got from the community.
And so who are some of the businesses that we can look forward to that will be there for Small Business Saturday? And you're probably going through your repertoire list of businesses. Let me share this. And this is why it is so important for us to work together and to collaborate together. Because when we were at Topgolf, Diva J, right after the auction, I actually had to shoot out of there and head over to Daddy-O's because we were guests at his restaurant the month before. And he learned that my granddaughter, Naya's Lemonade, Nyla, had her own line of lemonade and decided that he wanted to support her. And so he invited her to come that Thursday. And I went, oh my gosh, how are we going to make this happen? But we were able to go there and set up, and he set us up on the patio. But here's a beautiful part of what happened. There were those of us on the patio supporting her. She has a nice little setup, and she was doing her thing, old-fashioned lemonade and strawberry lemonade. People started coming up and just giving her a donation. And I thought, now that's incredible. That's special. One gentleman came up and he said, you know what? I appreciate what she's doing. We talk about what kids aren't doing, but look at what this young lady is doing. I gave her a very nice donation. He said, I'm going to go in, order dinner, and then come back out. He came back out, ate on the patio, and watched her work. So we did all of the hustling for her. We just allowed her to pour the lemonade. Then he came up and he asked Tiana, he said, I want to talk to her mom. And so he came to me, I'm really the grandma. He came to me and he said, I want to buy her out. It's time for her to go home. It's a school night. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. But this man, because he poured into her, and she was over there calculating, and I told her, and she said, what? She was calculating what the amount was, and he came back and said, this is what he said. Here's $200. Is that enough to buy her out? My grandbaby was just elated. And I said, okay, what are we going to do with the excess lemonade? And she said, let's give it out to the patrons. So she cupped it all up, bottled some of it up, and began to pass it out to the same patrons who came and supported her at the very beginning. And this is what happens. Now, he just left the silent auction at Topgolf, had to fly back to his restaurant, get everything set up. And this is how God gave us, as you said, an ROI, a return back on our investment of time and pouring into that young lady, Naya. Naya's Lemonade. Try out. You can find it on Instagram, and she has a website. And she will be at Small Business Saturday.
Yes, she will. Yes, she will. And I'm so excited because I didn't get a chance to taste her lemonade. So now I'll be able to taste the lemonade, the regular lemonade, and you said strawberry lemonade?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I love lemonade. So, yes, I'll be at her table all day.
And now, who are some of the other vendors that's coming to support us?
Okay. So some of the other vendors that we have, a lot of them we've had before, and some are the newer vendors that we've never had that are hearing about the event, and I'm just elated over that. So we'll have Beauty Reveal by Erica Hicks. We'll have Bling It Baby. She has some wonderful t-shirts. We'll have Gerald Seaberry, and he has G wings and things. So I'm excited about him as well. We'll have Callie's Royal Cream, Faye's Essential. We'll have several African vendors. We'll have Kenneth Ba, and he's representing Ghana. We'll have Catherine, and she's there quite often from Kenya. Queen's Vision will be there, and I have a couple of other African vendors, one from Cameroon, that she'll be there as well. We also
you're gonna have food trucks as well, right?
Yes, we're gonna have food trucks. We'll have Over the Top. We'll have Mr. G's Wings and Things. We'll also have T&D Aloha.
Wow.
Yes, T&D Aloha. We'll also have Kamisha Soul Food vendor that will be there. We'll have John with John. He has One Love Barbecue and Bistro, but he'll be there with his seafood line. So we'll have a lot of food vendors, and we'll also have your grandbaby that'll be there with the juices. So
that's
yeah, so
Naya's Lemonade.
Yeah, so we're
Diva
excited.
J. Pass the word, Diva J. I don't know if we Mr. Livingston had, but I wanted to make sure that we were able to give all of you all final thoughts. Diva J, he may have had to pop off.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I know you'll happily give the final thoughts for the board of directors. But let me just go ahead and let you know that one of our sponsors, Moffitt Cancer Center, on this Saturday, please, you can check out their website, but Miles for Moffitt 2021, Move What Matters. And so it is so important for us to support Moffitt Cancer Center for all of the research and all of the work that they do for our community. You heard our commercials earlier today, and we support them. So join them on this Saturday, the 20th, Miles for Moffitt, Move What Matters. What a great opportunity for us to serve. You've heard Queen Regina talk about Small Business Saturday, and Diva J broke it down for you, the importance of getting yourself ready and then making sure that you take care and position yourself for e-commerce. Whether you guys want to believe it or not, it's kind of like cryptocurrency. My son brought a individual here, actually a star from LA to Tampa years ago to talk to us about cryptocurrency. And at that moment, I was like, okay, you get into it first. And so it took me a few years, but now look what's happening. It's happening. So e-commerce is so very, very important if you are a small business owner. And then it's important for us to come out and support activities like Small Business Saturday, which is what's going on. And not just right here at the Rebirth Event Park, but we have activities happening all around. There are turkey giveaways, East Tampa Business and Civic Association, along with a number of partners. We were at my church, New Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, last Saturday, and I believe the number was over 1,000. Thanksgiving food box bags giveaway. It was phenomenal. In addition to that, one of your cohorts, Queens Pop-Up Market, is going to be supporting Small Business Saturday. And if you follow us on DSI Black pages, we have all of the happenings and who's supporting pop-up shops and markets for Small Business Saturday. Wherever you are, if you can make all of them, but promise us that you'll make at least one of them. And so we appreciate those business owners who are supporting the event planners, because we're all coming together and trying to make some things happen for you. My co-host, Diva J. We have Diva J, and then we have Al Diva for the fashion component of Let's Talk Business. And she has a super event that's going to be happening on Sunday, December the 12th. And yes, Naya's Lemonade will be there. We were there last year. DSI Black Pages is one of the sponsors there. Very, very well attended. So the opportunities are there as you plan for Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, e-commerce Monday. Just remember, support a business, support a small business. So I thank you, Queen Regina Johnson, for sharing with us, for supporting, for coming on board and supporting Cornerstone Family Ministries. I'm going to pivot to Diva J. She can give us our final thoughts, and we'll come back and wrap this show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every time I talk, I'm going to start with thank you, because again, you can't pay it enough. But
$100,000, yeah.
Yeah. Over 114. It's just absolutely amazing. And you all talked about your experience at the event, and so I'll provide some professional advice there. Coordinating is a part of what I do, and planning is a part of what I do. But one thing that I try to keep at the forefront of my mind, no matter what event I'm planning, is what will the experience feel like? Sometimes when we're planning events, it's easy to get caught in the nitty gritty. How much are we raising? Do we have enough tables? But what do your customers feel like when they arrive? What is that first 7-second impression that you're giving them, so that, to your guys' point, you'll want to come back again? And so many of us are going to be having holiday celebrations, whether it be professional or personal. And so let's think about each other. Let's think about the experience that we're providing to each other, and making sure that it's one to remember, that it's considerate of all things, and how can we use our team? How can we use the people around us to support that experience? Because I'll tell you, we had some phenomenal volunteers at the 7th annual Child's Chance for Change Topgolf tournament. And these are professionals. These weren't your high school, and no offense though, there's some good high school volunteers, but these were people who had things to do. And so they took it out of their day to be a part of that. And so I just can't say thank you enough there. So as we go into the holiday season, as we go into Thanksgiving, thank you. I am very faithful that this is only the beginning of what God has in store for Cornerstone Family Ministries, the children and the families that we serve, as we seek to open up a new center, fully replicating the Rosa Valdez Center, Old West Tampa, hopefully in Oak Grove United Methodist Church. As we work through those logistics, we are going to continue to need the community support, not just as donors, but as advocates and stakeholders in the lives of these babies that we are molding. So as we, I always have to give him a cameo. I'm holding Rosa Valdez's youngest student right now. And so I am beyond passionate about making sure that this ministry is successful and is at the hearts and stays and pulls at the heartstrings of all of our community members, because it is so important that we play a role in how our children are raised. So thank you again. I can't wait for next month. It's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. I might see you next Saturday as well. I'm looking forward to supporting all of the businesses, and I'm looking forward to El Diva's event. I think we'll have a special announcement.
Yes. Oh, that is exceptionally good. And this is what we do. It's so important that we support each other. Let me see if we can show just a little bit of what happened at the Unity Fall Festival. Ricky, can you cue us up? And as he's queuing up the video, the park is huge. And so spacing is not a problem. I don't know, there must have been 30, 40 tents out there. But check out some of the vendors. What you got to see, we wanted to show you some of it, and as it's buffering, we wanted to take you to another portion of it, but it may or may not play, but just to let you know, the entertainment was just phenomenal. And I love the fact that you had a place for the kids zone, so parents, and Diva J, you would appreciate this, parents could go and shop and someone was there to watch your kids. I think that that's just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And so, and your little trooper here, our little mini co-host has been exceptional. He'll get to see this video as he grows a little older, but he has just been, each time he comes on the show, he is just a perfect baby. Oh my gosh, so proud of him. And that's the beauty of it. And so to all of our supporters, we thank you. You know, we are just at the cups of our third year, and this show is Thanksgiving for a purpose. A platform, a vision that came to fruition, and each year, week after week after week, we've been able to bring the show to you. We'll have a replay for next week's show. We certainly want all of you to enjoy your time with your family and friends. Don't eat too much, but we know it's Thanksgiving. Get out there, do something, stay busy. As Martha says, you just gotta keep moving. And we appreciate you. We thank you for the hundreds, Diva J, hundreds of guests from all over nationally that have come here and supported the show. We appreciate you. We thank you. Please continue to like and share and help us disseminate this information out into our community and to the masses. It would not be incumbent upon us to not take some time out to say thanks for the way you have given, for the way you have poured into the show. We can't always get everybody on, but I tell you, people are calling in, wanting to be guests on the show in 2022. And so we don't consider that a small feat. All praises and honor to God. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll give a minute for Queen Regina to say something. Diva J, you can close us out. Regina?
Yes, I just want to remind everybody the support that's needed at the Small Business Unity Festival that will be November the 27th. Come out and support a vendor. And also what I'm telling the vendors to do, because we know that Monday is Cyber Monday. So I'm encouraging the vendors to let your customers know, if you holler back at me on Monday, then I can give you a discount for your Cyber Monday. So we're going to really encourage everybody to come out. You can get your free tickets on Eventbrite. You can also go to the Facebook page under Small Business Saturday Unity Festival to get those free tickets, or just show up. But we really want you to come out. It's going to help our businesses. Like Diva J said earlier, last year was a struggle for them, and we want to put them in the black. So see you next Saturday.
All right. Diva J?
Well, thank you so much, Queen Regina. We definitely will be there to support. Thank you for supporting Cornerstone. Cheryl, thank you for everything. Supporting Cornerstone Family Ministry, supporting Dash Coordinating Marketing, and supporting our community. You are truly a pioneer in your own right and just connecting the dots. And that is invaluable. So thank you as you go into your Thanksgiving season, from so many of us who I'm sure I'm speaking for people who don't know me to say thank you, because what you do truly matters. DSI Black Pages truly matters. And to be able to give that away to everyone was amazing opportunity. So thank you all. To learn more about Cornerstone Family Ministries, you can go to cornerstonefm.org. But I believe we're at our last minute, and so this may be a wrap. Back to you, Cheryl.
This show is a wrap. Thank you all. Love you all. Thank you, In Touch. Thank you, Facebook family. Happy Thanksgiving.
Listening to Tampa Bay Tammy,
your girlfriend,
on In Touch Radio.
In Touch Radio.